Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to the SEO.co podcast. Today, we're continuing the SEO for Startups guide, and we're moving into phase 1, building a foundation. Before you go off trying to get media exposure for your company, you need to build a solid foundation, meaning you have to develop your brand and your online presence to a sufficient degree in order to support your media efforts. Why? For starters, media outlets need a reason to feature you. If you don't even have a website or a fleshed-out brand, they'll unlikely cover your story. Even if they did, where would all your newfound visitors and brand enthusiasts go? There would be no website or base of operations to which you could funnel them. The strength of your foundation will dictate your ease of entry in the media world and help you to realize the benefits of your efforts. So let's talk about telling your brand story. First, you need to have a grasp of your brand story, which many media sources will use to judge the strength of your potential coverage. Journalists are incentivized to write stories that people want to read. So, is your brand exciting? Is it relevant? Is it different? These are the qualities that will let them know. Mission and vision. First, your company mission and vision need to be in line. This is more than just what you do as a company. For example, your company mission can't be to sell an effective time tracking platform. Instead, explain what you're doing on a broad scale and a short version of why and how you're doing it. If you need some inspiration, take a look at the mission statements of Fortune 500 companies. You'll also want to come up with a vision. What does the future of your company look like? How do you anticipate growing over the next several years? This is important information for journalists and readers to know. Also, history. As a startup, you aren't going to have much history, but you can still tell a story about how your business came to be. Major brands with an extended life like Nestle are able to use this to their advantage, showcasing how they've evolved over the decades. You won't have this advantage, but you have an even better one to make up for it: personal involvement. Talk about how your startup came to be on a personal level. For example, did the idea come to you in a flash of inspiration? Have you been working out of your garage for the past year? These are interesting tidbits that can hook people. Differentiating factors. In some ways, your mission, vision, and history will distinguish you from the other major players in the market, but you'll still need to find a solid angle for differentiation. Competition is fierce in the startup world, and there are likely at least several other businesses doing what you do. Why would a press outlet cover yet another SaaS tool? That's your job to find out and make the case for. If you have a unique value proposition, or UVP, which you should, you can start here. What can you offer that none of your other competitors can? From there, look internally. How is your business structured differently? How do you treat your workers differently? Find more ways to stand out, even if it's somewhat superficial. Public appeal. Next, think carefully about how you might appeal to the public as a brand, and this goes deeper than simply how you're going to sell to your audience. This is about how a news article is going to angle your brand, or how your media outlet of choice is going to generate interest in your feature. For example, Google is appealing on a product level because it helps you find what you're looking for online, but on a brand level, it's appealing because of the way it treats its workers. Significant events. This goes along with the history element of your business, but try to stake out landmark events in your company's past or significant events you hope to achieve in the future. In the past, these will serve as anecdotes and touch points for your media stories to develop. In the future, these will serve as potential opportunities for coverage. For a startup, this often means getting acquired, going public, or otherwise marking your success. Next, let's roll into website and landing pages as destinations. Once your brand story is developed, your next biggest concern should be where your readers are going to go once they've read about you in a media piece. Surely, you'll receive some referral traffic, but how you handle that referral traffic can make or break its value. For most startups, this will be your main website, but you might also create specific landing pages as destinations or target specific internal pages. In any case, your design and copy need to be tight. They need to accurately portray your brand for an unfamiliar public and appeal to them with new angles and extended descriptions. Remember that your media coverage will likely only skim the surface of who you are and what you do. You'll also need to focus on your conversion strategy, which is going to help you turn these barely familiar web visitors into leads or customers. For this, you'll either need to point your visitors in the direction of your products or services pages through the use of your web design, or else present them with a sign-up opportunity throughout the site. Run some A/B tests to optimize your conversion efforts before you start seeking media coverage. Otherwise, that traffic could go to waste. That's all for this episode. Next time, we're going to continue this guide by rolling into alternative destinations. Thanks again to listening to the SEO.co podcast and the SEO for Startups guide. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.